Repetition allows automation. Today, I'll be using Python and Selenium to automate a simple LinkedIn bot that sends your CV to multiple people from your connections. Let's see how. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is download Python. So come to python.org, go to downloads, and just install Python in 3.83 or whichever version it offers you for whichever operating system you're on. I'm on Mac OS X, so that's what it's offering me. And after that, I need you to come to terminal. So I have my terminal open right here, and over here, if you're using Windows, then you should type in CMD, which is command prompt, and run that. And if you're on Mac OS, then open terminal, and over here write the command pip install Selenium. And since I've already installed Selenium, it gives me this message, but otherwise it should give you a loading message and eventually install Selenium. And once you have Selenium installed and Python installed, what I need you to do is go to this link right here, right there. Basically just search in Chrome driver for Selenium, and once you're there, you should just download the Chrome driver, the driver for Chrome for Selenium for the current version of Chrome that you're running. So I'm using Chrome version 83, and whichever version you're using, just download the appropriate Chrome driver for that. So if we just click on this link here, it's going to take you somewhere here, and this is for Mac, for Linux, for Windows. You pick whichever one you need and install it. And once we have all of that ready, we're pretty much good to go. After this, what we need to do is open your favorite IDE. So for me, it is Atom. I am using Atom currently. So just open Atom, and we'll create a file for the program. So I'll save this. I'll save this as, say, LinkedIn bot.py. Yep, and there we go. So LinkedIn bot.py. Now if you already notice over here, I have a LinkedIn messenger.py. I've already made this program earlier. It works, and I have it there, but I will not show you that program. I will program it over here in front of you so that you can understand what each thing does, and it'll make it easier for you to also program it yourself instead of just copy pasting. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to import the WebDriver from Selenium, and that's what we'll do. So from Selenium import WebDriver, and the next thing that we'll do is we'll import sleep from time. So from time import sleep. I'll tell you the reason for importing this later, and there are other things that we'll have to import, but we'll do those later. The first thing that we need to do is open the web browser, and we'll do that by this. Now Chrome, you'll notice I've written Chrome. That's because we're using the Chrome web browser. Now we need to give the location of the Chrome driver, which is, for me, is over here. Right. Now we'll need to open LinkedIn. So we'll do that by writing browser. And since we're opening LinkedIn, so now let's see if this works. I'll open the terminal. Alright, so we're here. We see linkedin.com, and the first thing that we'll have to do is sign in, write in our username and password, and eventually once we're inside LinkedIn, follow another series of steps. So the first thing, as I discussed, would be signing in. So what we'll do is we'll come here on sign in, and what we'll do is we'll inspect element, which is right here, inspect. And this is the HTML for this sign in button. Alright, and over here we can see that it says sign in right there, right? So this is our identification. We're going to use this to log in, and we notice over here that it says A, which is an anchor tag, which is essentially a hyperlink. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell Selenium that there is a hyperlink that has sign in written on it, and what you need to do is you need to click it. So this is what you need to write: browser.find element by link text, and the link text that we have is sign in. Now what this will do is this will press that, this will identify it, but what we need to do is we need to click it. So ahead of that we're going to add dot click, and this should work. Oh wait, before I continue, I introduced sleep over here. Now the function of sleep is that it tells the program that do not work right now, do not do anything. You essentially sleep for a particular amount of time, which is generally denoted in seconds. So over here I'll write sleep 1. Now the main reason for this is what we're writing is Python scripts, and the script can only work if and only if the HTML is loaded, and this it's going to click on HTML. So for that to load in, we're going to let it sleep. The program does nothing, it lets everything load in and then it clicks. So we're going to save this and run this. Cool, we've signed in. Now the next thing that we see is that we need to type in the email or phone and then the password, right? So we're going to inspect the email, and it shows input tag with the ID username. Now this is what we're going to use to write in our username, and let's just look at password. And for password it is input ID password. That's cool. So that is what we will use. Alright, so we're going to input the username, and that should be done through browser.find element by ID, and the ID name was username. Now instead of clicking, what we need to do is we need to send it a value. So that is done through send keys, which will essentially send text. And now I can type in a username, but I need to log in through my username, and I don't want to divulge secrets over here, which is why you can notice something called login.py, which has my login information. So what I'll do is I will import login, and login.username has my username, and I'll do the same thing for password. We do see my username and password over here, but we forgot to actually look at the submit button, which is what we're going to press to enter the website. So I'll actually remove all of this, and we're going to check that first. Alright, so we're here, so let's look at sign in. So we're going to inspect sign in. Now we see that it has the button tag, which is of type submit. Alright, so we're going to use this to our advantage. So now you'll notice over here that we've used link text and ID, and to my knowledge there is no way to essentially find element by a button. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the element using something called an XPath. So for that we're going to write browser.find element by XPath, and over here it gets a little tricky, so you need to follow. We're going to write button at type. Now type, you noticed over there it said type was submit, right? And this should work. And I've used different quotation marks over here and over here, so be careful while doing that. And what we need to do is we need to click this, so dot click. So let's see if this works. Okay, so we've made a little problem over here. Now if you'll notice that over here I've put quotation marks for login.username. So what it's doing is it is using that as a string. Instead it should be using this as a variable that it's pulling from the file login that we've imported. So we'll pull this out and save this now and run it. So we saved it. Shoot, sorry. Let's run this. Sweet, we're in. And this is awesome. You can see my profile right there, my feed. This is awesome. Okay, now this is pretty cool. So what we need to do is we need to come here and we need to search. So we're going to do the whole shebang again. There we go. So now we can see over here that it is of an input tag of type text. So that's exactly what we're going to use to our advantage. And I'll close that. Let this sleep for a second. And browser dot element by XPath. Since this was an input ID and since this was an input and there's nothing really of input that we can find element by input, we're going to use XPath again. And the same thing with the button, but instead of button we replace it with input and everything else remains the same. So instead of clicking, we're gonna send in a key or send in a name that we need to search. So I'm going to send in the name of my dad. So send keys, Sanjeev Khosla. I'm going to save this. Let's see if this works. Alright, so since you had noticed that took way too much time, that was way too slow. Instead of the 1 second, since I'm recording my screen, it's probably way too taxing for the laptop. So instead of 1 second of sleeping, I'll probably give it around 10 seconds of sleep, and I guess that should work. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, I'll just update it myself and show it to you in the code later. Okay, I'm back, and I actually made a mistake last time. Over here it said that at type is equal to input, and type actually over there is text for the text box, the search box. So we're going to put text over here instead of input and save this and see if this works. Cool. So it's writing there, it's writing my dad's name there. But what we need to do is we need to make this press enter to select the name, and that's exactly what we'll do. So we'll come back to the program, we'll close this window. How do we press the enter? We can't just send keys and write enter, because that won't work. It won't press enter. That will be done by importing something else. So what we need to do is we need to import from selenium.webdriver.common.keys. We need to import keys with a capital K. And instead of send keys Sanjeev Khosla, we will cut this out and we will write keys.return. Now it is keys.return for all Mac users, and for all Windows users it will be keys.enter, because in Mac instead of enter we have the return button. Cool. So we've noticed that it's pressed enter and we're right here. I can see my dad's page right there, and we're gonna want to message my dad. So for message we're gonna have to press this button again. So we're gonna inspect element again. So we'll inspect. Cool. So over here you'll notice that we have a button tag, and this button tag has the word message on it, which is the text that this button tag holds. So that is how we will identify this, the HTML of this, and ask it to click it. So we'll close this tab and we're gonna let this sleep for some time because it needs to load the HTML. So we'll let it sleep for say 3 seconds. We're gonna call the button. So find element by XPath, button. Now over here things get different. There's no at type. Instead you're gonna have to write text parentheses equals message. Okay, and what we need to do is we need this to click. So click. Yep. And let's see if this works. If this works, then the text box should open up that allows us to message my dad. Cool. So we have my dad's message box opened over here, and it's asking me to write a message. That is really cool. Now what we need to do is we need to send him a message. So we need to open this text box right here, and we need to send him a message over there. So now over here things are getting a little tricky, because once this is opening we can't really find anything that we've used up till now as an identifier. So we see a div tag, and the only way we can identify this is that we see something called a role. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this role to our advantage, which has text box written to it, and we're going to select this and use the send keys method to send him a message. Alright, so let's just create a message variable that will store the message that we want to send. So I'll create the variable, call it message, and I'll write so we let this sleep again. So we let this sleep for a second. To enter the message, we're gonna have to use the div tag, and inside the div tag we're gonna have to use the role, which is text box. So in order to do that, just follow the following step. We'll have to send the message after this, so we're gonna have to press the send message button. So we're gonna inspect element for that as well, and that will be ungrade here. We'll inspect this, and we see that it's a button of type submit, something that we're all too familiar with. So we'll come here and we'll let this sleep for a second, after which we'll do the submit. Awesome. Now that we have this much ready, it should be able to send a message to my dad. And once we do that, then we've actually sent a message to one person by the end of it, after which we're going to try to send a message to multiple people. But first, let's make sure that this doesn't have any errors. So I'll try running this. We just sent a message. That is awesome. That is so cool. Now comes the tricky part. In order to send the messages to multiple people, we're gonna need two things. We're gonna need a list of names through which we will cycle and iterate and send the message to each person. And in order to send the message, we're gonna have to type each of the names into here and select their text box and then send them the message. So how are we going to do that? We'll see that ahead. For the next few steps, we don't have to inspect any element. We simply have to make a few tweaks here and there to the code that is already existing in order to make it send the message to multiple different people. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create an array list of names. Okay, and that we'll do before we send the name into the search bar right here. So let's create an array list of names. So I'll say names is equal to, and I'll give the names of both of my parents. We have two names, and two names should be sufficient to provide an example as to how this works, after which you can send it to say 20-30 employers or companies that you wish to send your CV to. and we're going to make a few changes here and there after that. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put things into a for loop that cycles through all of the names. So we'll do that by creating, to cycle through the names, we'll just create a for loop. Right, so now we're gonna cycle through the names and we'll remove my dad's name and just put name over here. So when we press message for the second person, it'll open their message box, but what it'll do when it'll go to text box is it'll find the first text box and start typing there. So you're essentially sending the first message that you sent to the first person. That's it. You'll constantly end up sending that same message to one person who was the first person in your list. How do we change that? That is simple. What we'll do is we'll create a counter which will start from 0. Now find element by XPath will only find the first element, and find elements while XPath will get all the elements and create it into a list of sorts, out of which if we specify the index of a particular list, then it will go to that index, the same way like a list works. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use find element by XPath for only the first name, after which we will use find elements by XPath, get the list, use the index for both the text box and the submit button in order to work for different places. This is how we'll do that. Now over here we're gonna use square brackets or box brackets and write CTR, which is our index, and we're gonna do the same thing for the submit button. And lastly, we're gonna have to increment CTR so that it cycles through all the names, just like name in names is cycling through all the names. And this should actually do the entire trick and should actually go through all the names everywhere. If you want to, what we can do is after we've pressed submit, we can sleep for a while just to make it function smoothly and not cause any errors in the middle. So you can let it sleep for say a second, and this should actually be your final code. This is what it should look like. I will leave the entire code, a link to the code in the description below, so you can check the code out if you just want to copy paste it and tinker around with the names and use different code. You can use paste the code exactly. I will leave this program to some extent in the description below, and what you can do is you can use you can directly copy paste it and just change the names and change the message to your desire and send it and see how it works. Otherwise, if that's not the case, then you could type it out a log and just have a journey along with me. So yeah, let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. If there are any errors, Okay, so it didn't work and I skipped out on one portion. Over here you can see that after Sanjeev Khosla, the search bar needs to be cleared out in order to have Taruna Khosla written. So what we'll do for that is very simple. We'll come here and we need to clear the text box. Now what we're going to do is we need to clear the name in order to get the next name in. So we'll just copy the name portion over here. We'll copy this line and instead of this we're just gonna write clear, and this should do the trick. This will just clear it out and then the next name is there. Yes, awesome. So now just play around with the code. Please don't spam my parents. And yeah, I hope you like this. I hope you actually use it. Thank you.